Hey guys, this is Mr. Salick here, and this is video number 2 on my new channel, Mr. Salick Does Art. And today what I want to do is draw my pet. And I don't live with the cat, I don't have a dog. I like dogs, I like cats. But my pet that I have in my house is a lizard. So I live with Blueberry is the lizard's name. Blueberry, the orange bearded dragon. So here he is right here. I brought him in the studio with me. He spends most of his time in his enclosure. He's got a pretty good life. He mostly just sits out in the sun all day. And by sun, I mean lamp. Not really the sun, but it's supposed to recreate the sun. His heat lamp and his UVB lamp in his cage. So anyways, he's my pet. I've had him for about a month and a half. He's a cool guy, but today I wanted to draw him. So my challenge for you today is to draw your pet that you have at home. And what you can do is you can either draw your pet from real life and draw them sitting there. Of course, you know pets don't necessarily follow commands all the time, so it's going to be hard for them to be sitting there and you to draw them while they're sitting. See, there he goes. Getting all wild right now. So what you can do is you can take a photo. So here I have my computer. And I took a photo of the lizard, and so that's what I'm working off of here. And then here's my drawing here. Let me see if I can get the lighting to where you can see it. So here's my drawing that I'm doing. Right now I've only used pencil, and then I'm going to actually go over it with Sharpie here in a second, and I'll show you what that looks like. But I just want to introduce you to my pet, Blueberry, the orange bearded dragon. He's had a good time exploring the house today. I let him kind of wander around. I let him out of his cage about 30 minutes to an hour, maybe every other day, not every day. But yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I enjoy hanging out with him. Like I said, he's got a pretty good little lizard life. So I'm going to go ahead and put him back in his cage now, let him hang out on his rock and enjoy some light. And I'm going to get to working on this drawing. So here's my sketch of Blueberry, the bearded dragon, the orange bearded dragon. Kind of funny, his name is Blueberry, right? And he's actually an orange bearded dragon. But I didn't name him, that was the name he had when I got him, so I said, that works for me. So here's Blueberry, the orange bearded dragon. It's the first time I've ever drawn a bearded dragon, and the first time I've ever drawn my bearded dragon, Blueberry. And a couple things I want to talk about here. When you're drawing your pet, like I said before, it's going to be tough to draw your pet because they move around a lot. You have a dog or cat. Now, if you have like a particularly lazy cat, then yeah, you can probably get them to sit there for 30 minutes to an hour or longer and draw them or paint them, sketch them. But with most dogs, they're not going to sit there for very long unless they're sleeping. So you're probably going to want to work from photos, but you can also work from photos and from real life. You can do both. But just for the ease of this sketch here today, I wanted to go ahead and work from a photo. So one thing real quick that I want to talk about on this particular sketch is a word. I'm going to teach you a little vocabulary today. The word starts with F. It is the word foreshortening. So foreshortening is when things come at you, and to the viewer, as the viewer of the artwork, the things that are coming towards you that are close up are being distorted or enlarged in a way that might seem unnatural. So that's why on this, I feel like his tail kind of looks like it's a little small, but that's because he's foreshortened a little bit. He's kind of coming towards the camera or coming towards the viewer. So that's why his back half looks a little bit smaller in proportion. If I was to do it in profile, which is just sideways of the lizard, it would look more in proportion. And that's another good word I can teach you today too, is proportion. Proportion is a P word. Proportion just means how everything relates to each other. Usually talking about the body in art, so the proportion of your arm to your chest to your head, all that. So I taught you those two words today, okay? I taught you proportion, and I taught you foreshortening. So tomorrow I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit this guy with some color. I might do marker, I might do colored pencil, but I do want to continue working on this sketch. because the lizard, that's what I call him, the lizard, blueberry. He does have some distinctive markings. Oh, and that's one more thing I want to talk about before I wrap it up here, is if you're drawing a pet, and I do a lot of pet commissions. I draw a lot of people's pets. So that's good work if you're an artist, an illustrator, and you want to draw people's pets. It's good work, and you make good money on that. Is that you want to think about distinctive markings, and you want to think about, if there's a dog, the dog has a little spot on the back of his neck, or a cat has stripes. You gotta include that, because you want to think about likeness and how it actually looks like whoever or whatever you're drawing. So that's about it for today, and I'll come back hopefully tomorrow and put some color on this drawing. Okay.